everybody. Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole on My Psychic Connection. I'm Bunny Sugars, and I'm so happy to be back, and I'm so happy to see all of you and all of your beautiful faces. But before we get into some readings, let me explain how we do things here. So we do offer free and paid readings here, but we just ask you provide us with your specific question. However, if you have a general question, those are answered on the website at mypsychicconnection.com. General readings can take us in a lot of different directions, and sometimes it just opens up doors to things you may not be ready to talk about on a radio show. So we usually just save those for the website. And if you sign up for the website at mypsychicconnection.com, you get 3 free minutes to start your reading. If you have any medical, legal questions, anything like that, please save those for the medical and the legal professionals. By law, we're not allowed to answer those questions. And if you would like a longer reading or jump ahead to the list, you can always donate using the link in the chat. We do offer a quick reading, mini reading, medium, and a mega reading. Now, mega readings allow you to ask up to 4 questions, and the mini, the mediums, and the mega are not timed. They take as long as it takes for us to get the message out entirely. And also, starting today, literally, or January generally, $1 of every donation is going to the wonderful St. Jude Children's Hospital. So if you love donation and charity, we love to help be a vessel for that charity. And so if you feel free, please help donate to St. Jude's. And so with that said, I have some fun games for you guys this evening because we're going to do something kind of fun. It feels like it might be an emoji contest. So go ahead and start throwing those emojis in the chat. And for the winner of the emoji contest, I have something a little bit different for you guys today. We're going to do some dice rolls, and I haven't done those in a minute. So let's go ahead and just get this party started. Let's go ahead and get into some readings. I've missed you guys so much. It's been a couple days, but it feels like 800 years. It feels like so long since I've seen you guys. So I'm so excited to read for you. So let's go ahead and start jumping into our first question. And our first one is from Amanda. Yay! She says bunny hugs. I love that, bunny hugs. We're going to start using that as a turn of phrase. I'm just not sure where yet, but I'm stealing it, Amanda. Amanda says, I got 2 new ducks today. Yay. My question today is, what is needed for more spiritual growth at this time? Thanks bunches. You are so very welcome, Amanda. Now, Amanda, the first thing, it's really funny. The first word I heard is patience. So you have this really strong drive to do what it is you're about to do. You're really wanting to open up your spiritual gifts, and that's awesome. I love that for you. However, there's a need for you to kind of slow down because you're wanting to take the action. But the problem is if you take the action too fast and you're not super clear and direct, it's like you're really clear with what you want to do, but you're not clear in how you're going to do it. What can end up happening is you can get a little bit careless in terms of how you kind of jump into that spiritual practice of yours. So it's going to be a situation of slowing yourself down. I know I'm one to speak. Slow yourself down and really reorganize your thought process and how you want to do this, because whenever we get excited and we want to do something new, we're just like gunning, we're ready to go, right? The problem is when you go too fast, you make silly mistakes, and you don't want to make silly mistakes. So we have to slow down, recenter, and really breathe. I hear that a lot for you. Breathing, a lot of breathing and centering for you. It's what's going to help you, because you get excited and then you run. And I feel like you burn out sometimes. You go and you're flying and then you just stop. It's like you get into it and then it's just like boom. So be super duper careful about the speed at which you're trying to learn your skills. But I think the biggest thing for you is going to be patience and trying to organize your thought process and monitoring the speed at which you're trying to learn. Fast is not always good. As the rabbit, I'm one to talk, but speeding. And that's all the time I have for that beautiful question, Amanda. But I do hope I was able to help give you some clarity. And honestly, building up your spiritual gifts is super duper important because it helps with things like I'm about to talk about right now. So, a carrot for your thought. We're starting with them carrots real early this evening. However, there's a thought here in regards to your spiritual practice and learning boundaries within that spiritual practice. And it's not just boundaries within your own spiritual practice, it's boundaries in life generally. I think, especially for this year coming up, 2024, which is already here. I say it's coming up like it's happening tomorrow. But 2024 is really going to be a year where we focus a lot on boundaries. Boundaries of people, places, energies, all sorts of boundaries. And I think this is about the step where we're all going to start collectively putting our foot down, especially the people pleasers. I feel like people pleasers are about to come right on out of that and start telling everybody, look, I've done enough, figure it out. And that's okay. There has to be an understanding that those boundaries aren't bad. Those boundaries that you're setting for yourself are always a good thing. The only problem is people are not going to see those boundaries we set for ourselves as a good thing. They see it as a negative thing because they're wanting more energy from us. We, the people pleasers who give our energy a little bit recklessly to others, they will siphon that and they want more of that. And then this is where 2024 is coming in, where everyone's about to learn, hey, I have no desire to do this. I have boundaries. Amanda says that was spot on, Bunny. Thanks so much. You are so very welcome. I'm so glad that was able to resonate for you, Amanda. But in terms of boundaries, your spiritual practice, and your just life in general, remember other people's discomfort, unless you're doing something directly to them. You setting a boundary for what you're not trying to do, entertain, want to do is that's not a problem. If you're directly causing an issue, that's an issue. But you setting boundaries for people that, and they have a problem with it. If they have a problem with it, they're not meant to be in your life. And that is a them problem, not a you problem. It is okay to say that's a personal problem, but I got to go over here now. So that's just a carrot, a little carrot for your thought. Boundaries are important, being able to separate those feelings of I need to, I want to help people please, and telling people y'all got to go kick bricks. There's a line, a degree of separation. It doesn't have to be that harsh. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and jump into our next question. Son of a Squirrel asks, will I be successful in studying and obtaining my GED high school diploma equivalency around spring 2024? First and foremostly, I do feel success. I think it's going to go good. I think you have a desire here with this Page of Swords. That Page of Swords is saying I have the desire and the drive. It is definitely what you want. So, my thing is, if this is what you want and how you want it, it's definitely going to come to fruition for you. Like if you put the energy, the oomph behind it, you stick your foot in it and you get it started, as long as you have the drive to follow through, definitely going to get where you need to go. So with that said, you have a star reversed. So it's almost like it's like the landing portion. At the end of all this, once you accomplish what you're trying to accomplish, it then becomes a situation of, what do I do after this? And that's something that you might have to give yourself a little bit of extra thought on. Where do I want to go with this credential? Where do I want to go from here? This doesn't mean you're not going to get what you're looking for. It just means that there's some fine tuning. Son of Squirrel says, oh yeah, that's a big problem I've had for sure. Definitely. It's like you're ready, you've got it, you know what you're doing, you have the drive. It's just figuring out that landing portion of everything. Once you're able to just sit with yourself and figure that out, I think it's all going to come to fruition, definitely. So don't overthink it. Don't drive yourself crazy. Because honestly, getting to the portion of life where you figure out what it is you want to do, that took me 30 something years to get there. It's not something you're going to figure out in a day. And even at 32, I'm still lost on what I want to do too. So don't feel like it's something you have to figure out right now. It's just something to think about for the future. So I do hope that I was able to help and give you a little bit extra clarity on that one. And thank you so much for your question. You guys are awesome today. And I hope you guys are throwing those emojis in the chat. Son of Squirrel says, yeah, I got a lot of time ahead of me. Thank you, Bunny. You are so very welcoming. Yes, time is fluid. So is tarot. We have time. Look, if it ain't going to get done today and you can't get it done today, tomorrow's a day that exists in time. Get it done tomorrow. And if you don't get it done tomorrow, as long as you're not dead the next day, you're good. Keep it going. Eventually, you will get to where you want to go. That's what I'm saying. So, for another carrot for your thought, the idea of getting where you want to go. The thought of Just because it wasn't done today doesn't mean I failed, and it doesn't mean I'm done tomorrow. There's a part of this where we have to learn to have a little bit of grace for ourselves, especially in 2024. We have spent too many years running the rat race of life. We have spent too many years feeling down and out because we're not doing or accomplishing what we are supposed to accomplish by a societal standard. That means literally nothing. Like, there's a part of you that has to have grace with yourself and realizing that, hey, I woke up today. That was a job enough, and that is okay to feel like it. And so if you don't get something done today, as long as it's not something that's due, like literally in 2 hours, you have till tomorrow to do it. Let's take something simple. Did you clean your house today? If the answer is no, well, guess what? Tomorrow exists. As long as I open my eyes and take my breath of air, tomorrow exists. Allow tomorrow to come. Everything doesn't have to be a race. Completion isn't a race. Sometimes you just have to congratulate yourself for just getting out of bed in the morning. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be gentler with yourselves in realizing that, hey, it just isn't done today. I will get it done, but I need to focus my energy elsewhere today. And that's okay. And if that energy is literally getting out of bed, pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself for getting out of bed. Life is hard. You don't need to make it harder for yourself. So don't be so rough with yourself. Give yourself a little bit of grace. And so that's just something, a little bit of something to think about. I'm throwing all you guys some little shredded baby carrots today, just kind of chucking at them. Just tossing them to the wind. So while I'm tossing carrots to the wind, let's go ahead and jump into our next reading. And I hope to see some more emojis. I'm watching y'all. So Miss Collins says, just turned 32. Congrats. She's asking, I wonder what lesson Spirit would like me to take into this year so I can have success and prosperity. Still, Miss Collins, there's a need here for you to breathe. Okay. So the way I'm kind of envisioning this in my mind is like you kind of have everything that you're looking for, especially with the 10 of Cups. You have what you've been achieving. You may not have it to the degree you want, but you have it, right? However, there's a part of you that still feels incomplete. There's a little bit of over chasing a certain type of success that you think exists. It's like, you know that deep down, spiritually, you are prosperous regardless of what you do. But there's this forgetting that there has to be a moment, like a grace period, in which you just don't think too hard about what you don't have and what you need to do. It kind of goes back into that carrot I was talking about a little bit. So what Spirit is essentially telling you to do, it's like, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to rest. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to be like, just off for a minute. It's okay to do all these things. You don't have to continue being a juggernaut all the time, because the more you try and force yourself to be this juggernaut where you are just going, get it done, you're eventually going to keep burying parts of yourself that need air. You don't want to bury those small, intricate parts of yourself that also need love, that need air, that need to breathe. This could be anything from emotions, or even just like things that you do to kind of de-stress. You cannot be a superhero all the time. And Spirit is like, it's okay for you to slow down for like 5 seconds. 5 seconds is all you need. Just take a moment to just breathe and just remember, hey, I got to do human. Miss Collins, I hope that was able to answer your question. And thank you so much for your beautiful question. You guys are awesome today. And I also see those emojis in the chat. Very good. I want more emojis in the chat, because you do get a free reading from me. You get some dice from me today if you win the emoji contest. That's if. So make sure you slam those emojis in the chat. And I can't wait to see who wins, because I have a message somewhere. It's a new year. It's new beginnings. I have a lot to go over with all you guys. So while we are waiting to see who's going to throw more emojis in the daggone chat, let's go ahead and jump to our next question. Arisha asks, will things with Otis be serious? All right, Arisha. Let's kind of see with Otis, first and foremost, where his feelings are. I think that's an important place to start. So you're starting here with the Two of Flutes, and you're ending with a little bit of a, Interesting. So you're starting here with this two of flutes. This is talking about there's very high potential. There's a connection here. There is a desire for that togetherness that does exist here. However, you're dealing with someone who's a bit of a late bloomer, but they're not really blooming. So this is pointing to I like where things are in the moment. I like where we are right now. This feels really good, but I'm not sure I'm ready to move things into what it could be. You're dealing with somebody who kind of just likes things as they are. They're not really looking to move or rock the boat any further than it is now. And that just it seems like it has a lot more to do with someone's comfort zone, or specifically your person Otis's comfort zone. It's a little bit, I don't want to say it's like eating their cake or having their cake and eating it too, because that sounds a little bit too sharp of a language to use. It's more so if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's the kind of mentality I'm getting from Otis. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do we have to do more if we're already comfortable where we are here? So this tells me that he's not going to make it more serious. He's kind of fine with things as they are. He's really comfortable. He likes you a lot. There's definitely this connection here, but that connection isn't, it's strong enough to move it into a series if he wanted it to be, but he's too comfortable where he is. And that's where things are going to get into a little bit more complication. So unfortunately, I can't get into those complications, but if you'd love to, get into a little bit of a longer read, you're more than welcome to donate, because I do have a little bit more for you on this one. I am a nosy bystander. However, thank you so much for your beautiful, beautiful question, Arisha. I hope I was able to help give you some clarity. And let's go ahead and jump into another one, because we got time today. Emma asks, I would like to know if anything will happen with myself and Joe. We talk a lot and there's physical attraction. Ooh, Emma. Let's see what's going on with you and Joe. Let's see. Look, the cards are flying and beating me dead in the face. I feel like with Joe, I think it's a little bit hard. And I say that because he's not really fully opening into the idea. It's like, I see, if I could give you a visualization, it's kind of like there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's like at the end of the tunnel, you go in like to the left. And it's like, dang, all you had to do was walk into the light. Why'd you go left? The left, you walk left, you look left, it's dark. So he's not quite there yet. There's a lack of possessiveness within his heart. So it's like you're not really having his heart under lock and key. There's attraction here. It's growing, it's building. It's not going to grow the way you want it to. It's not there yet. And I know you're looking into a more deeper romantic connection with him, but he's just quite not there yet. I don't think this is for any other reason, more so than just someone who likes to play the low and slow game, but also someone who, again, comfortable with how things are, not looking to rock the boat just yet. Now, there's a chance in the future that his kind of viewpoint on this will shift. The only problem here is he's got to get to the point where he's ready to shift with you, and he's not quite ready to shift with you just yet. He's kind of just chilling real good where things are. So it has a possibility, but right now he just likes things where they're at, Emma. So I do hope that was able to help give you some clarity, my friend. And thank you so much for your beautiful question. And all of you out here listening and watching, I hope to see those emojis in the chat, because you get dice rolls from me for free. And if you like to talk a little bit longer, you are more than welcome to sign up for mypsychicconnection.com. You can find me there on the hotlines, and you get 3 minutes free when you sign up. It's kind of lit. It's kind of cool. You guys get to talk to me for as long as you'd like. Hear me tell you all the things you need to know about life and things in life. So, for a moment of pause, I want to get into something fun, because I just kind of had a thought, and I think I need to kind of air this one out. It's a little bit of a carrot and a little bit of an observation. I think what is about to happen in 2024, a lot of people are going to be trying to hang on to things that no longer serve them. And I think it has a lot to do with relationships. It's like, this relationship is heading down literally absolutely nowhere, and you're going to be trying to hang on. So it's like in that conversation we had earlier about establishing boundaries with people, there's also going to be boundaries within your romantic relationships too. that you have to respect. Because I think what's going to start happening is your partners that you're with now are going to start showing you how it really is and who they really are. And when people show you who they really are, what do? You believe them. But some of you are going to be trying to hang on because it's almost like this fear of failure and this fear of isolation. So be very, 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 very careful. Some of you, water signs specifically, some of you are going to be trying really hard to hang on. Don't do that. Sometimes it's better to just let things fade away and start over. Sometimes starting over is the best thing you can do, and it's never a bad thing. Starting fresh is just a new perspective and a new chance to do it better and better than you did before. So that's just a little bit of an observation that I think kind of just came to mind in the moment, because I'm noticing a lot of hanging on and clutching to relationships lately. Like, why stay with the person who's cheated and treated you wrong? Why not find someone who treats you better? Just carrots for your thoughts. We love a good carrot. Carrots are healthy. Spiritual carrots are great for your soul and maybe your eyesight too, but I'm not a doctor. Don't ask me. All right, you guys. We are doing amazing things this evening, and I'm so glad to see all of you posting. So let's go ahead and jump into another question. Let's see, Catherine wants to know, will meeting my family in London be a happy occasion? Ooh, I love questions like this. So, Catherine, let's see, will it be a happy occasion for you? I think it's going to put a lot into perspective. Well, the card's flying out. It's going to put a lot into perspective for you, especially with this Temperance card kind of being your starter. It's going to bring kind of a balance almost to what you thought versus the reality. It's like realizations about your family that maybe you may have got a little skewed, and realizations for them about you that might have gotten a little skewed over time. It just kind of feels like there's been a disconnect mentally between all of you, and that happens with a lot of families and just between people in general. So that's not necessarily, a detrimental thing, but it can be something that does cause damage. I do think this may essentially be a pretty solid meeting. I don't think it's going to go bad. I actually think it's going to go really good. I think you two, or not you two, but you and your family members who may have not seen eye to eye before, there's going to be a lot of decent understanding, and I feel like there isn't too much tension that's going to happen. I do say just be very careful about how much information you give all at once, because people will skew that information in a way that does not serve nobody. So just be careful, because someone's a little bit of a chatty cat within your family, and you don't want rumors to spread. So just be careful with how much you give. However, I think ultimately it's going to be good. You just have to be a little bit boundaried. That's the word of the day. Boundaries. Look at me go. But you have to just set that boundary and how much you're willing to share and how much you're not willing to share with your family, because quite honestly, it doesn't look like a bad reading. It's just be very careful with how you communicate certain things or certain type of situations, especially with this Ace of Swords reverse. Just be very careful about the delivery and what you're delivering. People talk too much. Look at me, right on time. So thank you, my friend, for your beautiful, beautiful question. And I hope I was able to help give you some clarity. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into another one. Let's see. Mila wants to know, will my relationship change? We had a disagreement, and he's distant. And he distanced himself yesterday. He said he needed a little bit of space to understand what happened. It was very upsetting for him. Will he come to terms? Oh, Mila, I'm so sorry to hear that you guys are already going through some complications this new year. However, I do think time does heal all wounds. There's a bit of a reflection period that's going to be happening during this time. However, I think he is going to have a significantly harder time coming to terms. So I'm not really seeing a successful sort of reunion or reconciliation coming from this, especially with this Rose Ceremony card in reverse. There is a lack of he's going to come to terms, but the terms he's going to come with are not going to be in favor for the relationship for the most part. Now, there is a chance that you two will be able to talk more about it, but because he's not getting, this advisor card is reversed, so because he's not getting any outside thoughts or outside understanding, or maybe trying to understand things from your point of view, he's a little bit lost in the sauce in his own way. And that's causing a little bit more confliction within his mind. So in a way, he's coming to terms, but in a way, this is going to be very hard for him to reconcile. You two are definitely going to speak again, though, especially about the situation. I don't think it's just going to be successful in terms of reconciling between you both. It's giving a lot of distance, and it's giving a lot of, I don't understand, therefore I cannot put myself in her shoes, therefore I need to kind of back away. It's very reflective, but it's not reflective enough to make a difference, unfortunately, because he can only see things from one way instead of, in order to truly reflect, you have to kind of see it from both ways. He can only see it from one way. All right, my friend, thank you so much for your beautiful question. And thank you so much, everybody, for being so awesome today. You guys are wonderful this new year. Like, we are really getting it popping today. And I love that for us. And so if you guys are enjoying, go ahead and, leave more emojis. Because guess what? You get a free reading from me if you type in the most emojis. Just keep going for it. I don't know why don't stop. Just keep going. Just keep running. Throw those emojis in the chat. I'm going to keep harassing y'all until we get a winner. All right, you guys. So let's just jump into one more reading. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Alice asks, will my daughter get a home close to me? Oh, this is so fun. It seems like you have a really close relationship with your daughter. Just off the bat, it seems like you have a close relationship. Now, I don't think it's going to be as close as a house as you'd like it to be, but it's not going to be too far. It's not going to be something that's like, oh my gosh, he's like 100 miles away. I don't see it like that. I see it more so as a situation of, oh, okay, so it might take you 30 minutes to get here. So with this first card, this is a 10 of cups. This is typically a yes also in the tarot. I mean, any card that's this positive, that's upright, that's your yes. However, this is talking about the happy home and the happiness between you both, cups, emotional happiness. So I do think the answer is yes. You'll get a home nearby. And if it's not super duper close, like in the same neighborhood, it's going to be certainly not that far of a driving distance between each other. So I see this as potentially highly moving forward. And especially with this Page of Pentacles, this is a move forward in that direction. So I definitely see it happening. I do feel a little bit disappointment because it's almost like she wishes she could have gotten a house closer. So there's a little bit of dang, but this is good enough because it's not too far. So I do think that you two are going to be a little bit closer than expected. And look, here's this Page of Pentacles is following you, ma'am. So there's going to be certainly some positive movement in that direction. You, with this Four of Pentacles reverse, you're not going to get it exactly how you want it, but I definitely see it going through. You got your confirmation 2 different times. So I hope that was able to help give you some clarity, and thank you so much for your beautiful, beautiful question. And I hope the move goes well, because moving is hard. Moving is not my favorite activity, so I hope it goes well, and good luck to the both of you. So while we're sitting here with some carrots and some thoughts and some ideas, I want to give a little bit of a thought to the color of like the day. I thought that would be something cute to talk about. So today's color, I feel like things are a little bit, I don't want to say beige, but it's like this pale yellow color that I'm kind of seeing in my third eye. Yellow is a good color for, excitement, happiness, joy. It's also pointing at, like, if I'm not mistaken, it is I'm forgetting which chakra. Oh my goodness. Well, aren't I just a lovely, lovely time? Alice says, thank you so much. So while I forget the chakras that are associated with the color yellow, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's not sacral. It's the word. Sometimes this happens. I just completely forget a word, and the word has escaped my thought process, and that's okay. We're just going to keep it rolling. So yellow, I feel like, is really kind of a prominent color, or is going to be a real prominent color for some of you, especially the earth signs. Some of you should wear some yellow, and I think it's going to bring just a little bit more happiness to you. Like, especially when you think about it, grounding, earth, the sun, they're all interconnected to each other. And sometimes in order for the grass to grow, for the leaves to get a little bit greener, you got to have a little bit of sun. So we're a little bit of yellow. So I just thought of a cute little color that came into my third eye just out of nowhere because it wasn't beige. That would have been Imagine the colors. Sophia. Sophia's on it. Yellow is the sacral for feelings. Thank you, Sophia. You are awesome. Because look, sometimes my brain goes faster than I can go, and I totally forget like the words. I knew exactly what it was with the words. So Sophia's coming through with all the words for me. So thank you so much, my friend. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into another reading. We have so much fun today. Carnivore Queen. Oh, I like that name. She asks, will Fred and me have a romantic relationship? That is a good question. That is a good question. So, will Fred and our Carnivore Queen, that is just such a badass name. I love it so much. All right. I have to be honest with you, my friend, with the badass name. I do not think that relationship is going to go in the way you're wanting it to go. I think there's a little bit too much chatter that is happening a little bit. So here we have the Fantasy Suites card. This is in reverse. This is also a 9 of flutes. This is in reverse. This is a kind of falling backwards from what exactly you're wanting. It's kind of giving me this idea that it's not going to end up in the way. I think the relationship between you two, if it stays the same, it's going to be fine. If it moves into that romantic, I'm not seeing that kind of come to fruition really well. There's something here, especially in terms of this cocktail party reverse. This is social gatherings and situations. Just I think there's going to be a lack of time together. There's going to be a lack of togetherness that you feel. So this could be a more lonely and isolated feeling. So it's like you two are together, but there's just this little bit of, I want more. I'm not getting enough. I want more. I want some more time with you. I want something to do something else with you than just this thing. However, there's going to be a lack of kind of an understanding. There's a lack of empathy in regards to this from him. So this is talking about, I'm sorry, I'm the worst. This is kind of an apologetic card. This is a card talking about, I'm sorry, I hear you, I empathize, let's try and fix it. So he has an issue with not being able to 100% empathize with you over the long run, and not only just not empathize 100%, but not be able to recognize where maybe in some situations he could do a little bit better. This is me and the bell are having a party today, but I do hope that was able to help. And thank you so much for your beautiful question. And if you'd like to go through this reading a little bit longer, feel free to donate with one of the links below, or you can just catch me on mypsychicconnection.com on the lines, and I am there and we can talk more. So thank you so much. And Carnivore Queen says thank you. You are so welcome with a badass name. I love it. I love it. I wish I could. I wish I was creative enough to think of names like that. I like that one. That's perfection. All right. So let's go ahead. Oh, energy. Yes, coming through. It is yellow for the solar plexus. That's it. Oh my gosh. That's what I was thinking, because I kept pointing to my chest and I knew. And I'm like, dang, where is my brain at? Brain flew out the window. Solar plexus energy. Sophia, you guys are keeping me afloat. Thank you guys so much. Energy is awesome. Energy is great for all sorts of readings, like about energy. I hate the fun, but I'm so sorry. Energy is a fantastic, phenomenal reader. She is awesome with things like this. So she's also one to go to if you want to learn more about certain chakras and colors and things like that. She's really good. But I just feel yellow. Yellow, it is a time to be very yellow in our spirit right now. It's time to just get a little bit more happy, because I feel like a lot of us were like really down in the dumps in 2023. It was the year was rough. And so I feel like we need to kind of come through with a little bit more sunshine. And Catherine says, thank you for your time and energy. You are so welcome, Catherine. It is my pleasure all the time, always, for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into our next question. See what's coming up. Debbie says, can you tell me if I will be accepted into Empower Junior IT Analyst Program, and I also applied for another program called Digital Women Tech Program. Will I be accepted? Ooh, if we can keep those two questions up for me. So will you be accepted into Empower Junior IT and Analyst? That's quite a mouthful. That sounds exciting though. So do I think so? I think yes. You coming through with this Emperor card. This is talking about having the confidence to pull through, and not just the confidence. This is more so a yes. So I do see where you are about to kind of embark on that journey. And if I could see the question one more time, please, because there was another program. It was Digital Women in Tech. Thank you so much. I think that one is not going to go as planned, not yet. So your Seven of Pentacles isn't quite there yet. It's almost like work with this first one, work with your IT analyst program, start that, and then eventually you will get into the Women in Tech program, because it's almost like you have to start planting your seeds. Start with one, plant your seeds, move into the other, and then that's what's going to propel you forward. Use both of them as launching pads into different things. So you start with your Empower, and then you go into your Women in Tech program. So I do see both of those eventually being successful. It's just the timing is just going to be a little bit different for the both of them. It's like get your feet wet and open those doors. Get your feet wet, open those doors, start moving into that line of thought, especially here with that Eight of Swords. I think it's going to go through. Just give it a little bit of time. Just your timeline needs adjustment. It's not all going to happen at the same time. So just remember that. And one thing's going to come first, and then allow that other thing to open the other doors. Let it just kind of let and my words are just like eating me up today. I was trying to say, let everything piggyback off each other. Good Lord. Anyway, thank you so much for your beautiful question. I'm just lost in my own thoughts. And you know what that Debbie says, thank you so much. So happy to hear, Bunny. You are so very welcome. And you heard the lightning, y'all. It is time for the lightning round. So what you're going to do is start typing in all of your yes, no questions. And what I'm going to do is as many questions as I can in the 3-minute time period. I'm going to be answering yes, no, or unsure. Depends. Or undetermined, excuse me. So go ahead and start throwing your questions in the chat. I want to see as many yes, no questions as possible, because we are going to fly through them. Just give me a big old intuition test. It's going to be a good time. So go. Put your questions in. I want to see all of your yes, no questions. Gemma asks, will the flood stop me from going to my next village tomorrow? No. Emma asks, was Joe watching / looking at me tonight? No. Jasmine, is he hiding some feelings? Yes. Svetlana, is V in love with me? No. Jasmine, does he like me? Undetermined. Emma, will I get a new car soon? Yes. Gemma, will I go to my daughter's baby shower? Yes. Jasmine, does he stalk my Facebook ID? No. Debbie, will I move this year? Undetermined. MJ, hello, beautiful bunny. Happy New Year. Hello. Will I find love this month? No. Sophia, will I go on a cruise this year, please? Undetermined. Emma, has my nan's house sold? No. Jasmine, will my sister get her perfect life partner this time? No. Jasmine, will my sister be living happily after a second marriage? No. MJ, will I find love this month? No. Svetlana, is V going to contact in February? Undetermined. Debbie, will I meet new love in 2024? Yes. Jasmine, is my person G my future life partner? Undetermined. Emma, will I hear from Joe this week? Undetermined. Sophia, will I get a house on my next move? Yes. Debbie, will I get a job in 2024? Yes. Emma, does Joe like me? Yes. MJ, will I let a lump sum of money this month? Undetermined. Jasmine, will I get a job this year? Yes. Allison, does my daughter miss me? Yes. Svetlana, will I have a new relationship this year? Yes. Allison, does my son miss me? Undetermined. MJ, will I win the lottery this month? Ooh, Frank. No. Amanda, will this month go smoothly? Yes. Emma, does Joe like my messages? Undetermined. Gemma, does my friend Craig want more than just friendship with me? No. Allison, will I get a job in January? Yes. Debbie, will I find my forever home in 2024? Yes. That was fun. That was a good time. So that was a lightning round. Thank you so much for your beautiful question, guys. You guys really showed up with those questions. Those were quick. We went through fast. We were flying through the lightning round. You guys are awesome today, and I'm so happy to be reading for you guys. I love you guys. I've missed this. So while we're here and we're reading, let's get to another question. Diana, she says, hi, when will James and I be in a relationship? So the when part to that is very interesting, because let me just give you a disclaimer. Time is fluid and so is tarot. And time frames don't always like to kind of show out the way we see them. So the question is, yes, you two are going to be in a relationship. The answer is when. It will be, I do see 2024. The exact, it feels like fall. It doesn't feel like any time right here, right now. It's almost basically like you two are just kind of, it's like a simmer pot. You two are just kind of cooking low and slow and just getting things together. There is definitely an attraction here that I do feel, but I just feel like it's more likely that that's going to really take off. That romance part is more so going to take off toward the mid part of 2024. So I'm looking at like late summer, fall season. Orange. I see a lot of orange. So usually around the time the leaves start changing color. So this would be fall. So that's kind of when you two will eventually enter the relationship, but things are going in the positive direction needed to enter into a relationship. So that's like the positive part here. I don't see like you two are going to fizzle out or anything. I think this is heading in a positive direction. It's just going to take you a little bit more time. So thank you so much for that beautiful question. That was an interesting one. And thank you so much. And I have to give you guys like a little bit of a heads up. Time is fluid and so is tarot. Like your free will impacts everything. And sometimes time frames don't always happen the way we psychics say they do, because free will impacts everything. You could choose to breathe in the northeast direction and boom, change your timeline. So considering your timeline can change like we change socks, you know, time is fluid. Just always keep that in mind. So with that said, let's jump into it. Oh, wait, hold on. Congratulations, Alexa A. You are tonight's emoji contest winner. Alexa, you showed out with them emojis. And so what you get from me is a magical dice reading. And so with my magical box of dice that make way too much noise, what we're going to look into for you, Alexa, is things you need to focus on in 2024 and what ways you need to focus on them in 2024. Because I love figuring out where to grow, especially in the first part of the year like this. I love figuring out where to go. So I'm going to take all my little D20s. And we're just going to roll them and see where you need to really put some focus in. So firstly, friendships are going to be a little bit of a focus for you, especially in the coming months, especially in the springtime. So a lot of your friendships, you're going to have to start learning what serves you and what does not serve you anymore, Alexa. There is someone around you who cackles. I know that was so specific. Hold on. Just rock with me for a second, Alexa. There's a lot of cackling that they do. There's a lot of laughter. And I feel like sometimes this laughter isn't always with you. So there's someone in your corner who may not 100% be for you. And it's now kind of just determining who these people are and where exactly or what exactly you want to feel in regards to these types of friendships and relationships. So that's something that's going to be probably on a higher status for you, especially in March. Like specifically in March, there's going to be a lot of issues with friendships that you're going to have to start sorting out mentally in your head. Now, love is going to be another hot topic for you, and it's almost like a grounding of yourself within a either relationship, or if you're not in a relationship, that grounding is the idea of what type of relationship you want. So it'd be the idea of what, how, who, when, and why. What do I want? How do I want it? And I want it like this, and I deserve it like this. I'm not settling anymore. That kind of grounding into what your love life looks like, or what your romantic relationships look like. This also looks like a part where this friendship part intertwines too. And what I mean by that is literally with that, it's kind of like I need to ground in how I view my certain types of relationships with people. I need to ground what I expect from them. I need to ground what I feel from them. And I need to ground and understand why I want things this way, and that it's okay for me to want and demand things a certain type of way. Not saying you make demands to those people, but you make demands with yourself. I will not put up with anything less or anything more than this. And it's almost like, again, word of the day, boundaries, setting that boundary with yourself, and especially with people. So with decisions, you're going to have to be making you're doing a lot of decision making. And it also reads into the other two topics I just talked about, a lot of decision making and a lot of standing in your power within those decisions, because I feel like you'll make a decision, you'll fall back a little bit. You second guess yourself a lot, and that's not great 100% of the time, because you end up taking in people who do not deserve your energy. So this year especially is going to be focused on standing deep, like 10 toes down in your decisions and not faltering back on them. There's a need for you to really take command and take control of what exactly you desire and how you want to see things come up. So your year especially is going to be focused on a lot of looking within yourself, understanding how I got here, what I want, when I want it, how I want it, and accepting the fact that you're allowed to make demands on what it is you want in your life, while also taking a moment to separate who's really for me, who's really not. Be very careful of people who are it's someone who laughs a lot in your corner, because I can hear it. They laugh a lot, but they're not really laughing with you. It's really weird dynamic, and it might be someone that you could have been familiar with for a minute and you're always been on the fence about them. But just be very careful about the people you have in your corner this year, and start standing in your decisions to cut people away, because you're doing it for the better good of yourself, but you have to allow yourself to stop second guessing. So Amanda, that's kind of the big areas for you to focus on in 2024. Friendships, romantic relationships, decision making, and grounding yourself are going to be super duper important for you. So I do hope that I was able to help with my beautiful box of dice that makes way too much noise. And thank you so much for participating, everybody. Alexa, excuse me, I think I called you Amanda. Alexa, I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for being our emoji contest winner. And everyone, thank you so much for participating in our emoji contest. And you guys, we have some more energy, because I am hyped up today because I had a coffee. So let's get into more readings. Sherry asks, Delicia, will me and Raphael and I reconcile? Okay, thank you so much for that question. So you want to know, what are the chances of reconciliation, and will it happen? It's going to be a little bit rough. I almost feel like there'll be a coming together, a reconciliation, but there's some things that need to be talked about, especially in regards of what happened between the two of you to make you fall out in the first place. There needs to be a conversation. And with the Toxic card in reverse, I feel like there's not going to be enough conversation about the actuality that happened. It's just going to be like, I'm sorry to, let's, hold hands again, basically. I feel like there's a whole conversation that needs to be had before this lovers, this back into happiness is becomes a thing again. It's almost like there's a bit of an avoidance here because someone talks very well. And I think this is your person, Raphael. They talk very well and they might be able to distract you and kind of flip a conversation around to almost have you forget about the main point of the conversation. Be very, very careful about that, because in order for this to be successful reconciliation, I do think that there needs to be a serious conversation that is had about past events. There's too much, or at least Raphael is very in the moment. It's like a lot of reassurance in the moment, but not reassurance over the long term. I'm seeing a lot of, I can tell you what you want to hear right now, but it doesn't mean that the problem from before is solved. It's like jumping back in without solving the issues that were the problem in the first place. So do be super duper careful about that, friend, and try to really be grounded in what you have to say during this reconciliation. I do see that happening for you. And I feel like by the springtime, you two would have reconciled. However, just be very careful about how things are said to you. Questions, ask more questions. Me and the bell. Look, I had just finished. Look, the bell and me. But thank you so much for your beautiful question. If you'd like to know a little bit more, feel free to find me on mypsychicconnection.com. And Sherry says, okay, thank you, dear. You are so very welcome. And good luck to you. So let's go ahead and jump into another one. Let's see. Sophia says, hello, good evening. Can you give me a description of my next home move, please? Ooh, that's going to be very interesting. Let's take a second real quick and see what I can pull up. A description of your next home move. So I'm going to do the best I can. I can't give you specific locations because I'm not geographically savvy like that. However, I can kind of give you an idea. So first and foremost, it feels like you're moving out west. It feels like we're going a little bit to the countryside, but it's not the countryside. It's like how I envision Wyoming. It's like large open spaces, houses not super duper close together, but you have neighbors. A little dry. The area you're going to be in is going to be a little bit dry. So you might be in a more hotter area than you are before. It feels very Midwestern, maybe a little country, a little, I want to say Texas, but that's too general. It's a little bit general. So I feel like you're going to go moving into a warmer climate for sure. I feel like you're going to be moving a little bit toward the west. A little bit more west is where you're probably headed. I feel like your home is going to probably be a little bit smaller than anticipated, but it's not because it's not for a bad reason. I think you're just going to have, she says, I live in the country and I want to stay in the country. I think you're definitely going to do that, Sophia. You're definitely not going like horribly far. I think you're just going a little bit further toward more country. She says, I'm in the UK. Okay, that's great, because I'm telling you, Texas, and that's such a generalized kind of way to describe things, but I do see you moving out more to a drier place. Sophia, I hope that was able to help, but you're definitely staying in the country. I can see that for sure. So I hope that was able to help you, and thank you so much for your beautiful question. Let's go ahead and take another question. Yes. Louis Kate. I hope I said your name right. Louisa Kate. Thank you. I got it. All right. My coworkers are toxic, so I'm looking for another job. Will I be successful? That's a good question. So will you be successful? I think first and foremost, cutting away from this job is going to be super duper beneficial. Ooh, you've got a lot of sorts on the board. So let me see. Will it be successful? Honestly, yeah. I think once you're able to kind of find a different type of job or vocation, or just go into something different, it will be. You have a lot of swords on this board. This is talking about incoming communication. This is you having some really sharp communication with people. You have another person here who is in the King of Swords energy, lots of really sharp communication between you and your coworkers. This is something I feel like that isn't going to resolve itself over time. The only thing that's really going to resolve is what you're kind of planning to do, which is to kind of jump ship, find you something different, and go into a different location or space. I do think once you're able to free yourself with this Eight of Swords reversed, you will be able to find what it is you're looking for, because what you have right now is not it. This is not doing it for you. I feel like, especially until you find what you're looking for job wise, you're going to continue to have more and more conflicts with these people. So try your best to just kind of just not entertain it, because all it's going to do is stress you out. But if there's literally no way you can keep out of these kind of situations with people, just go ahead, enact your plan. It's going to work out for you better in the long term. Just give it a couple weeks for you to essentially get into the placement that you'd want to get into. Just give it time and try and be patient, but definitely beneficial for you to jump, because it feels like a bowl full of piranhas. If that's what your workplace feels like right now, a bowl full of piranhas, and all they do is talk, and that kind of blows it. My friend, thank you so much for your beautiful, beautiful question. And I hope I was able to help give you the clarity that you were looking for this evening. And I wish you the best of luck with that shift. So thank you so, so much. And you guys are awesome. So we're doing great. So let's go ahead and jump into our next question. Emma wants to know, Emma in that beautiful fur coat, I seek you. She wants to know, what in the next 2 months hold in my relationship, please? Let's see. So the next 2 months, what comes for your relationship? I feel confusion is the first thing that came to mind. Confusion within your relationship. So you have a Ten of Rings reversed. This is a little bit of a, I'm not sure what we're doing here, and I'm not sure if I like it. This is kind of a situation in which you kind of go back and start reevaluating things. There's going to be a lot of drama that comes between the both of you. So this looks like more argumentative situations that are going to pop up over the next 2 months. You're going to be in this period of reflection, because like I said in that first card, that Ten of Rings reversed. Why are we doing this? Why are we here? What exactly is this good for? And why are we fighting like this? There's going to be a lot of conflict. Now, there's going to be these moments of clarity between the two of you that are going to feel really good. Like, okay, we're on the right track. But at the same time, because you two are going through this sort of oohs and ahs, this rose-colored glasses sort of situation, it's like holding on to something that may no longer serve you anymore. So there's going to be a lot of reflection about the relationship in general, but not only is there reflection, there is going to be this oohs and ahs, like, oh, we're still happy, I still love you, we're still good, this kind of first love, first date sort of scenario between the both of you. I think what's just happening is there's a disconnect or a not understanding or recognition of the red flags that are showing up that are going to make this relationship more difficult, because things are going to start feeling very up and down between the two of you. So I see a lot more conflicts, but a lot more just conflicts resolutions. I love you, I can't stand you sometimes, but I love you, I can't stand you. This is going to become a very up and down relationship, and you're going to have to use your discernment to figure out if this is something you're really wanting to pursue forward in the future. So I do hope that was able to help, but be very cautious over the next 2 months. Watch your energy and use your discernment in determining if this relationship is going to be functional and a good foundation for you. So thank you so much for your beautiful question. And I do hope I was able to help give you some clarity. And everyone, thank you so, so, so much for being here with me today. My name is Bunny Sugars, and you can catch me here at Down the Rabbit Hole every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Now, at 10 o'clock, you can catch Squirrel with Whispers of the Forest, and at 12, Into the Shadow, or The Shadow of Dreams with Kay and Journey comes back at midnight tonight. So if you're interested in dreams and astrology, stay tuned for the next 2 shows. You guys are so amazing and lovely. Thank you so much for being here. And it is a pleasure reading for you always. Take care. Bye-bye. Drink water.